Good morning. This is Elder G. This is Monday, August 3rd, 2026. God can woke us up one more time. God can start us on our way. God can close us in our right mind. And I hope and pray that all our limbs are working properly. You see the picture that's up there on the screen? The picture of the data center in Michigan, where the humming sound is so loud that the neighbors is going to have to hear this humming noise 24/7. Now, just think about this now. The politicians that you pay the politician with your tax dollars. And they are supposed to work for us. See, the Constitution is of us, not them. They just employees that we hire. The Constitution is of us, is by us, and is for us. All our money goes into a collective pot, and that money is supposed to protect and serve every American citizen. No matter where you live, or who you love, or what your religious ideology are, or what your race is, it's not supposed to make any difference under the Constitution. I'm going to ask anybody. I don't care if you black or white. I don't care if you Jew or Gentile. I don't care if you bond or free. I don't care if you rich or poor, or you pretty or ugly, or you tall or you short. How in the world that somebody that's taking your money, that's taking a salary, that's giving you life insurance and health insurance and dental and vision, how in the world are you gonna let your employee build this data center right in the heart of your community? These houses that's around this data center, they ain't worth nothing. Who is gonna wanna buy those houses except for the sick people that work at the data center that's gonna die from cancer? And their kids are gonna be born with birth defects. The Bible is right. The love for that money and for that power and for that lust is the root of all evil. You see it in those backyards right next to the data center. It's some trees and a little fence that's separating those homes that got swimming pools, that got kids that's gonna grow up and cancer 20 years from now in that community is gonna spread like wildfire. These prejudiced white people, they already did this to black people and indigenous people and Mexican and low-income people. They already damaged black and brown people brains by putting big old power stations in their community, or big old factories in their community that's polluting their community. I I don't see how nobody that's working for a city would put this cancer and water drinking monstrosity right in the middle of a resident. It's incredible. It's just so outrageous that human being is so much in love with power and so much in love with money. For the love of God and Christ and the love of humanity is waxing cold in their hearts and in their mind and in their soul. When you get to be so evil that you willing to destroy your kids, you willing to build a data center right next to your kids playing in the backyard, knowing that it's going to give them cancer. All you got to do is read the instruction on your microwave or your TV. You know what's going to happen 20 years from now. It's going to be a lot of birth defects. It's going to be a lot of people that's going to have to go on disability insurance because they're going to be mentally impaired. Because that prejudiced white man didn't give a rat's you know what about brain damage and about cancer and about polluting the water. Where that data center is in that community, that soil is going to be contaminated. You know that data center is going to contaminate that neighborhood. And you know it's going to be all kind of problems, all kind of health problems, all kinds of breathing problems, and all kind of hearing problems. Everybody in that community 20 years from now is going to need a hearing aid because of the humming sound. And a lot of people going to have kidney failure and brain tumors. I just can't believe that human beings that's supposed to be concerned about love your neighbor as yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Don't you ever bring the word God and Christ out of your mouth again. And you definitely need to take in God we trust. You don't care nothing about your own children, your own mother and father, your own wife or husband, or your grandchildren, or your great-grandchildren. You care more about money and power than you care about anything else. And I'm here to tell you, it's sad. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed.